Hoo-hoo. Woo. Oh boy. Whoo, buddy. Okie dokie. Okie. Dokie. Dokie. Okie. Yay. Ah. I'm not late, Herzl. I'm not. I refuse to admit that I am late. Because I'm not late. Or is it the moment that my face goes on screen that then you count that as being on time? Oh, see, I'm not forgetting to change the camera. See, I didn't forget this time. Ah. Oh boy. It is warm. It is warm. Ah. How are you doing, Herzl? How do? Hooray! Oh, how am I doing? I am doing reasonably. You're all right. Well, that's good to hear. Let me just check something. If I do this in a pop-out view, can I drag it to here? What happens if I maximize it and zoom in? And zoom in again? And zoom in again? Will it let me zoom in any further? 120%. Can I see that now? Maybe. Right then. Well, let's do a little recap. Yes, a little recap. What did we do on Tuesday? Let's have a think. Or better yet, let's do a scene change to get to Tinkercad. And we can talk about it from within Tinkercad. Let's do it that way. I bet. Yes, we did do horrible things. No way. No, it didn't work. Transition. There we go. Yes, there we go. So we did, as you said, horrible things. We now have something that resembles a Z carriage that should hold also the X carriage, an X carriage end piece, and yes, it might not sound like much, but it's a reasonable amount. Did I copy this and put it over there? No, I didn't. Let's put one over there. When the dream is void. The dream is not void. That's not how the name works. That's not how the name works, Ace. So, we have got, in order of pieces, X carriage end, Z carriage front, rear, the Z top, the Z base, a simple rod holder, a silly rod holder, a Y motor mount, a Y idler, and a Y front and rear plate. Those are the pieces that we've got. I think. Doop-doop-a-doo. Which leaves us. That leaves us with the extruder, the electronics enclosure, and the screen holder. Screen holder, electronics enclosure, and extruder. I think it's entirely plausible to jinx this and say, do you know what? Next Thursday, we could be printing this. We could jinx it right now and say that. We could go with the hypothetical and be like, yeah, you know what? Next Thursday's reasonable. We could be printing it next Thursday. What do we think, Ace? Also welcome. And welcome to the others who are sneaking around. Hello, I see you. I see you. Hello. It's warm. I don't like how warm it is, but it's warm. And on that note, don't forget to drink things when it's warm. Just don't forget to drink things. Or itch your nose, because my nose is itchy. Your nose, not my nose. Okay? Okay? Right. Yeah, I think we can jinx it and say, you know what, Thursday we can be printing things. Let's jinx it and say that. I mean, to be fair, we could take the Y front and rear, print that. The Y idler, the one I printed was incorrect, because let's make this mistake now and get it over and done with. The Y idler, I didn't put the backing piece, the backstop in. So the hex nut will just fall through. Do I have a right-sized hex nut? Probably not. Let's just consult the box of doom. Do I have a right-sized hex nut? Yes. I also have a right-sized bolt. That's crazy. That is crazy. The box of doom provides. So the bolt would just pull all the way through. And we can't do anything about it. We can't. That's no good. That's no good. So I've tweaked it a little to have, at least I think I did, to have a backstop. So the hex nut can't pull all the way through. So should we do that now? Shall we jinx ourselves and print the Y carriage pieces? Yeah. I think we should do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's load up Prusa Slicer. And then let's transition so that y'all can see it too. That is the wrong version of Prusa Slicer. Let's try this version. For some reason, it loaded up 2.1. That's really old. I don't know how old 2.1 is, but that seems really old. So let us load up Prusa Slicer. And then let's do transform, fit to screen. Somewhere about there. Okay. There we go. Can y'all see it? Yes, but it's above my face. Silly. There we go. So I'm just going to quickly from within Tinkercad, export the 12 by 2, the motor mount, the idler, the front and rear rod holders. And we can load those all in to Tinkercad. There we go. There's my face. One of those. Bring up Prusa Slicer again. That, and that. And all of these pieces fit nicely onto a single Prusa Mini bed. Ta-da! Don't you love to see it? So you need 2 of those, 12 by, is it 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, it's 11. 11 by 2s. Ah, good evening, good afternoon, time appropriate welcomes to you, Joe, and to everybody else who's watching. In theory, this is the y-axis. In theory, we could slice this and it would be ready for Tuesday. Let's see how long it takes. Let's take a gander. Viduko, hello. How are you doing? Trying to install Debian on an old laptop to see how I like it over Mint. They are the same base. It all depends on how much polish you want on top. 10 hours. 10 and a half hours for this print. Do we do it? 10 and a half hours. We'll have it for Tuesday. I mean, to be fair, we don't need 10% infill. We do need 0.2. I like 2 layers. Go 3 shells, top and bottom. 3 shells, top and bottom, 10% infill. Not in grid. Let's go adaptive, no, generic cubic. Yes, slice again. Slice again. Been busy having a 10-year-old PC that's trying to die on me. I could do one better. Mine's 12. I got mine in 2013, 2014. 4th gen i7. Annoyingly, it still works. Annoyingly, it still does reasonably well. To the point where I've rebuilt the 4th gen i7, and that is what is powering this live stream right now. In fact, the same graphics card, an NVIDIA GTX 1050 Ti, and it's all doing this. Yes, it's currently running at 80 degrees, but hey, I'll tell you what. I do not love downloading OS files from the internet. I'm going to have to see how difficult it is keeping a full offline ISO on hand just in case civilization totally fails. That is a very reasonable approach. Having Ventoy on a USB stick and a bunch of Linux ISOs. I mean, you can even do Windows on within Ventoy to install that. Do we do it? Can we add a brim? Can we add a brim in Prusa Slicer to just those objects? Right. Actually, let's just Y idler, Y motor block, fancy rod holder. I guess I can't escape Linux talk even on others' streams. No, you can't. Simple rod holder. 11 by 2 block. Fancy rod holder 2. Simple rod holder 2. And then 11 by 2 block 2. I want to add a brim to just these two. Can I do it? I don't think I can. Gosh darn it, Prusa Slicer. Give me the option to add a brim to just those two. Per object settings would be nice. Mine's an i5 7500, 16 gigs of RAM, GTX 1060, 6 gigs. See, yours is newer than mine. What's the issue? Right, sensor connect. Stuff it. I don't know if you can see the image. Load up. Let's select the PrusABlok. How much filament is that going to use? 447 grams. I don't know if I've actually got 447 grams on that spool. Stuff it. That's what run-out sensors are for. And let's just do the do. Boom. There's the Prusa Mini. Or what will be the PrusABlok. Let's just send it. Downloading the G code. No, I don't want to update. Go away. Don't make me update right now. Can I not skip? There we are. Don't you love to see it? Don't you love it when your 3D printer prints parts for itself? We'll check back in that. Check back in on that shortly. Did I actually orientate the motor block correctly? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Why would you want to escape Linux? I mean, why would he want to escape Linux talk? Linux talk is good. Because it's Linux. No, Ace. Stop being so pessimistic. Stop it. Stop it. There's nothing wrong with Linux talk. Right, as I said, we'll check back in on that shortly. In the meantime, let's go to the GitHub repo and actually download the what do you call it? Pros of Linux. Linux. Cons of Linux. Linux. We need to download the files for the Extruder front the idler, and the rear. Oh, look at that. Mini extruder front. Huh? Okay. Download. Mini extruder idler. Yep. Let's download that. Mini extruder rear. That looks like the rear of the extruder to me. Let's download that. And then back into Tinkercad. Should we have a tidy up? Should we tidy up? Nah, I've got space over here. Let's move Cragord's window. Window? Wheel. Cragord's wheel. That can go over there. The assembly thing for the stock one can go over there. Delete the front, delete the rear. T-block over there. 1x3 there. You move. The only cons I've found so far is it doesn't run Photoshop, and GIMP isn't a suitable replacement. Fair enough. That's completely fair. I made the thumbnail, you know, this thing. I broke the shot. Good job. For goodness sake. Yeah. Right, transition. Right. Back we go. I made the thumbnail in Photopea. It works. Just so I had the chop across thing, because I couldn't figure out initially within GIMP. I used GIMP previously, but I couldn't figure it out. And then just the text overlays, I do that on my phone. I hate that that's the answer that I've got, but yeah. All jokes aside, it seems like a fine OS. It just doesn't run hardly anything I use on a daily basis. Make your thumbnails in PowerPoint like me. I was originally going to. I jokingly, I said this to Herzl and Reliance that, you know, oh, screw it, I'm just going to do my thumbnails in PowerPoint or Google Slides. But again, I wanted that chop across thing for the transition point of going from the real printer into Tinkercad. The next stage of the thumbnail is going to be, once the model's finished in Tinkercad, I'm going to chop across in the other direction and have the Tinkercad model. Not the Tinkercad, have the PrusABlok model. On a comparable system, it runs everything I want or need. Orca Slicer, Blender, most of my Steam games, surprisingly. Minecraft. What can't it run? Well, you don't use Fusion 360, so Fusion. But then there's the Snap package. If you're running a Debian base or Ubuntu base, you can use Snap packages easily. Well, you can use that on Snap packages on anything. So you'd be able to do Fusion within Snap. Microsoft Office, the web app. Does the web app not meet your requirements? The extruder rear. Import. Choose a file. Mini extruder idler. Import. Web app offline. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's the only thing that, well, to be fair, it does, it's been a while since I used Microsoft Office. It does feel like Microsoft Office is just a glorified Electron app these days, which would make it a web app. So but then the offline, the actual client can run in offline mode. Drop you there. Move you there, move you there. Right. I can't remember which piece is which. Which is the piece that goes onto... That's Mini Extruder rear. Is that the one that goes onto the faceplate? Currently, it's an opt-in feature, but yeah. What did I say that you're agreeing with? Move you there, move you there. Drop and drop. And align, align. Because... Which side holds the NEMA 17? Which side holds the actual extruder? Oh no! I didn't mean to close you. I meant to duplicate and then go into Tinkercad. So I can load up the pre-built model. Actually, why am I doing that? Why don't I just use the manual? Right. Let's just use the manual. The manual makes sense. Right, you finish loading. Cool. Extruder motor parts preparation. Assembling the extruder. Extruder assembly parts preparation. That's the idler. Extruder front parts preparation. Okay. So if that's the extruder front, extruder idler, assembling the extruder. Right. So is that extruder front? If extruder front holds the NEMA, then where's extruder rear? Tinkercad, man. Can you import a PNG as a reference image? Blender lets you. No. SVG? I can import an SVG. Thing is, though, I'm trying to... You're not done, Slowpoke. Cragord. You've only just turned up. You're half an hour late. And then place the bearings onto. So if that's... What part is that part? Mini extruder front. It says it right there. So I need mini extruder rear. So that's mini extruder front. That's mini extruder rear. So in that case, let's go back a moment. Grab the Z carriage over here. Focus. Oh wait. Rotate. Not ruler. Rotate. Spin, spin. There we go. Had to do something on the honey-do list, not going to upset the other half. Well, what about upsetting me? You're happy to upset me? I'm joking. You, and you align centrally with this, please. Oh, hang on. That's upside down. There we go. That's not fair. Happy she kicks and bites. I mean, anyway, so extruder rear, Sam sits on there. And then extruder front sits on there. And then, oh yeah, that's the cable management piece. And then extruder idler. I'm not echoing. I don't think I can echo that one, Joe. I don't think I can. Or should I say, I don't think I should? You know what? That crossed the line. No, it didn't cross the line. It didn't cross the line. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just being safe for work, even though it's currently Thursday and it's past work hours for people. Something is it there? Somewhere there. Well, back a bit and up a bit. So that goes there, and then that goes somewhere there. Ooh, hang on. No, that way. Plonk. Okay, so if that's roughly the stock extruder assembly, right? Can we agree? Do we agree? Roughly the stock extruder assembly? Sans all the motors and gears and what have you. What do we think? It looks about right. Kind of. Mostly. Because I've got a genius idea. And you're going to love this. I think you're all going to enjoy this quite a lot. I think to be brute, I think, and hear me out on this, I think that I can't be asked. I cannot be bothered to remake it entirely. However, we can take this piece and do something clever. Because there's a nice flat surface here that we can see. And I think that we can just, you know, we can take the pile of connectors that's here. Yeah. We can shuffle it over here. We can rotate. Get confused as to where they came from. And then just do a little bit of that, a little bit of that, and be done with it. Because why break what supposedly works, you know? Why break it? Because, not being funny, the idea of remaking all of that geometry just doesn't seem like fun. But what we can do is thicken up this plate, thicken it up a little bit. Yeah, just add a bit more girth to make sure that we're not protruding the connectors through. And yeah, that'll work. That will work. Just take the ones that impede on the major or vital geometry. And yeah, just be done with it. Like, there's sufficient connectors there. There's 3, 2, 4, 7. There's 10. So that piece, Joe, is Mini Extruder rear. Mini Extruder rear. Because, you know, do I feel like I'm cheating? A little bit. However, remember the rule number 7. Have fun. Is this cheating? Because then, you know, we merge this all together. And then we just ba-doop, ba-doop. There you go. Just make sure it aligns somewhere. Like that. Okay, maybe not. Let's see. Maybe not those ones. Maybe these ones. Those connectors. That'd work. It's not impeding. It's got sufficient. I mean, these connector holes that I've been referencing are 5 point something. They are 4.88. So if that back piece, Joe, if that back piece was 5 mil thick, like just extrude it out to 5 mil, then I think it'll be fine. I mean, hang on a second. Can I do that? How big are we talking? We're talking 53. 53 by 68, 67.8. And then thickness doesn't matter. Loop, loop, move you there. Duplicate. And then align. Right. Let me just go through what I'm thinking. If it was 6, but the holes were still fine. If it was 6 mil thick in total, based on the screw holes, I think that would work. So let me just zoom in on the screw hole. So the screw hole here, if it was 6 mil in total after the screw hole, then we've got the reference geometry so that we know that the screw holes that we would have sink in properly. Because my other thought was, well, you know, let's just use that object as a, what do they call it when we're grouping? We've got not a uniform, a Boolean, a bundle, a union, an intersect. So then you cut out the plate and then add it on top of the plate after the fact to thicken it up that way. Something along those lines. So now we've got all the holes, and now it's just a bit deeper. I didn't even think of that. That's pretty cool. Okay. So Joe has just modified it in Blender, which means let's see what Joe made. Bring it in. And let's just compare it to what we made in Discord with the intersect modifier. Hello, where'd you go? There it is. So we rotate and we rotate to get it in the right orientation. And let's make it pink as well. That's a grayish pink. I'll do. Drop it to the same level and align it so we can compare. Yeah. It's achieved the same thing. It's just Joe's is a lot cleaner because, yeah. Huh. Actually, your solution is surprisingly elegant as well. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Again, the whole intersect and union group and bundle group thing, the different types of grouping is new. Like, since we started this project, like, I didn't know it was a thing. Oh, man. So hold on. One second, Joe. I'm not discrediting yours at all, but doing that as a plate, an add-on plate. You got rid of R4 to make room for more connectors. Yes. But the thing I was just thinking, yes, we have to be careful with screw lengths, but if we did an add-on plate, we wouldn't need to reprint the whole extruder assembly. We could just print, we could just print this add-on plate full of connector holes that's the right size, that aligns us correctly up here, and then that way, this is where it gets great. Any extruder upgrade that's made for the Prusa Mini, so we're talking the Bondtech BMG extruders that use the same mounting holes, we can upgrade to that. We just keep our add-on plate, we're referencing existing pieces, plonk, like we do for the extruder, for the motors in general. So so long as we keep it... So the downside is the add-on plate would need to be thick enough to catch all the connectors, making the total a little thicker, but it might work. Yeah, that's a good point. It would need to be 5mm. Well, 4.88 is the stock, but no, because you can go to the plate connectors, which is 4.4mm of total thickness. So the plate could be 4.4 because you use the double-sided connector holes. The plate connectors. Let me just connector. These ones. You'd just go for those connector holes, which are 4.4. Yeah, 4.4 thick. So if the add-on plate is 4.4 thick, yeah, it's a plate, a specialized plate. Exactly. It's a specialized plate that can then be used to adapt to any adapt any replacement extruder for the Prusa Mini to any PrusABlok printer at that point. To be fair, you can use the regular holes with the 4.4. They'll stick out the back a little bit, but the connectors will only go in one way. Well, we only need the connectors to go in one way anyway. So, what do we need to do? Right. I'm going to duplicate this piece. Give me another. Right, you go over there. Let's ungroup you for a moment. And let's be a little bit more clever. Let's go for the total thickness of the back. So then we are catching the screws. So let's go for intersect group. So that gives us 4mm. So let's just bump that to 4.4. So now we catch the screws correctly. Sorry, we catch the nuts. Are we only catching one nut on this? Oh. Hold on. What have I missed? What did I miss? So the cap head screws that get used to pull the pieces together Is that backwards? No, it's not backwards. It's just misaligned. Bup, bup. Bup, 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 bup. There. Okay. So we just need to grab it in some capacity. The extra space on the connector hole is just the space that will be bridging on the top. Inside the hole doesn't sag to the connector. Right. The extra space on the connector is just hole, so it's just hole space, so that when you do bridging on the top of the inside the hole doesn't sag in the connector space. Okay. So that's what that is. You're referring to this lid piece. I'm calling it the lid. It's the top of the connector. That's there to bridge so that to decrease the amount of bridging that's required. What I'm saying is don't use the plate connector, just the regular connector and let it poke through. Sure. I mean, so long as we get to that point, we're fine. Right, let's go back to this a moment. So really, it needs to be thick enough that it gets sufficient purchase from something. The connectors themselves are 8.8 mil thick, yeah. I should have made that more standard, but too late now. Yeah, if you did any major changes to PrusABlok now, it would be a breaking change. And then just not fun to have to go through and reprint everything. Right. So the thing I'm thinking of right now is, does it need to be thick enough to... Does it need to be thick enough to catch these cap heads, the cap head screws, but at the same time, if it catches the cap head screws, are there sufficient screws in the kit that are long enough to then account for the extra 4.4 or 4 mil of material that we're adding? Are we okay just catching a single nut at this point? Or do we just reprint the whole back panel? Like, do we just make it a bit thicker? And reprint the whole extruder rear? Is that something that we should do instead? Because having a whole extruder plate, having a whole plate system where we can take any extruder assembly for the Prusa Mini and bring that into PrusABlok is great. However, it just... It feels like I'm potentially screwing myself over when it comes to reusing the Prusa Mini kit. Because again, yes, we've now got nearly all of the screws in the kit that we can make use of, but then we need to go through the kit and find them and pull them out. Whereas if we're just using the kit part for the extruder assembly with the screws that are in that bag and say, hey, look, just print this different piece instead with the PrusABlok connectors on the back, you're fine. I just feel like we're screwing ourselves over for no reason. But that's me probably overthinking it. Like, there's advantages to just saying, hey, look, print this with PrusABlok connectors on the back. But equally, this one with a slightly thicker back, like see, I don't... I like this. I do like this. But it just feels like it's going to go wrong. Because again, you're adding extra thickness, therefore you've got to take into account screw length. And at the moment, there's only one screw that's holding that whole thing together. And again, that's just going to go wrong. Hey, the Prusa Mini's printing. It's printing the Y carriage, or the Y assembly at the moment, or the non-standard printer block / Gigantoblock Y pieces. Okay. Oh. I think we go for the slightly thicker. We just go slightly thicker. So let's bring this back. No. Wait, yeah, that. Bring it back. Align it up with this piece. There we go. And let's fill in the R4 like Joe did, because that makes sense, actually. So we need a standard block. Nope, not import. Basic shapes. Cube. Moment of crisis over, folks. We figured it out. We're going to keep it stock. Well, not stock. We're going to make it slightly thicker. Make it bigger. So you say make it bigger to actually match up with the Z carriage? Is that what you mean, Cragwood? Because, I mean, yeah, we could do. We could do. I'm going to do this one first. Group it. Not a bundle. A union, a group. Which one's the stock one? Bundle, group, new. Union, group, formerly just group. Bundle. Union. Oh wait, whoops. Make you slightly narrower. Doot, doot. Convert it to... No! No! I'm not converting it to a bamboo hot end. I'm putting a Revo on it. Because I'm lazy. Oh, wait. I say I'm lazy, and what am I doing? I'm making a bad cragord. Exactly. You tell him, Professor. You tell him. Oh. Line up properly, will you? Zoom, zoom, zoom. I've got to go to 0.1. There. There we go. And then grab those. Make sure we've not accidentally grabbed anything else. Join them together. Now, flash forward hot end would be a different story. Again, the actual hot end piece, I'm not touching because it works. There's no point print blockifying the actual hot end. As I remember to drink, and then it turns out I'm an hour in and I've almost run out. Right, let's take you. Duplicate. Does it really? I mean, it works enough. I mean, we can see that it currently works. You know, it's printing all the pieces to print blockify itself out of PLA. It's currently doing PLA. Is there any point in doing PETG? No. Well, my Debian install failed. Not sure what went wrong, but it doesn't boot up after install. I'll real flash the USB with Mint tomorrow and see how it goes. Ubuntu Mate, Ubuntu Mate, Ubuntu Mate. MATE. Have you tried that one? Because you can make it, you can give it they call it the Redmond theme, which makes it look like Windows. I mean, that may or may not be exactly what you're after. People? What? What am I? Ubuntu? Oh, silly. YouTube automatically translated your comment. Ubuntu. Let me type it. Ubuntu Mate. It's Ubuntu, so it's Debian, and it's the Mate theme, so it looks like old GNOME 2 dot something instead of GNOME 3. And then it's got themes built in to look like Mac OS or Windows XP or Windows 7 with the search box, which is always good. Is that a giant void in there now? Let's group you two together. And let's add you in as well. And T. No, it's just a different color for some reason. Oh well. Do we do the things where we make it do the things? By which I mean, do we... Raj, hello. How you doing? How's it going? Do we do the things where we do the things? Do I string a sentence together that actually makes sense? Silence. What do you mean silence? Ubuntu mute. Wow. How are you enjoying the hot weather? I'm not. I'm really not. It's too warm. I've already gone through that. That was supposed to last me the whole stream. The can of red thing that I got out of the fridge earlier is already warm. It's not great. They're not paying me. So there we go. Oh, I didn't transition the screen again. Whoops! Oh! This is... Yeah, the weather's messing with my brain, to put it lightly. Right. As I was saying, I am thinking I'm going to square this up a bit. I can mess around with the back and bulk it out, and it makes no difference because I'm not touching anything forwards. That makes sense. That makes sense. How are you dealing with the weather, Raj? British hot, 75 Fahrenheit. Screw you. Screw you, Ace. Oh, jeez. It is supposedly cooling down over the next 4 days. I don't believe it. Wanted to stir the pot. Yeah. It's not telling me. I'm okay. I have the AC on at the moment. Show off. It's not telling me the weather in Fahrenheit. It is 24 Celsius. Feels like 24 Celsius. And 24 Celsius right now is currently it's not telling me in Fahrenheit. It's not telling me in silly units. 24 C in F. 75. Yeah, you were actually right, Ace. It is actually 75. 99 right now for Cragord. I mean, it was today's weather. Oh man, I hate talking about it. I don't hate talking about the weather. Weather's annoying. It was 33 Celsius today. So 33 C and F. 91% hot. So there we go. How big are we talking? We're talking 53. How big did we go for the actual? We went with 64. I know I'm right. The joke after the World Cup is that there's no heat like US heat. We're calling for 101 with 74%. We are 33, so what was that? 91 with 53%. So you currently win. You currently win, Cragord. Right. let's do this silly ways. Let's do 64 by 72? Is it 72? 64 by 72 by 4.4. And then we rotate it to be there. We then go plonk, 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 plonk. Wait. Honestly, anything over 100 is just hot. Exactly. I agree with Fahrenheit for the perspective of if you treat temperature as a percentage. So 99% hot or 75% hot or 4% hot. 4% hot is actually really rather cold. You know, 0% hot is freezing. 100% hot is hot. Fahrenheit makes sense for humans. Celsius makes sense for science. Yeah, but that's why science invented Kelvin. I mean, I don't know who Kelvin was before they invented him, but I have no clue. AC is at nice temperature. Yeah. I'm not doing that. I'm not making a giant backplate. Ungroup, make it into holes. Let's just delete all of the ones that protrude into places that they shouldn't. Protrude. And that should be sufficient connectors. Oh wait, I'm still at 0.1. 1 millimeter. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yeah. No. Up 1, across 1. No. No. 1. I can't do maths right now. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1. No. And then we go maybe there. Yes, we can put 1 there. Bonus points. We have a few good days of good weather, and then there is a ban. Oh. Yeah, we are going to have a hosepipe ban. Probably. But at the same time, I mean, it's not currently active. And I think once I've done the stream tonight, while I wash the pots, it's going to be close to, what, midnight, 1 o'clock? So I'll just put the hosepipe on then and soak the lawn when it's cold. The issue is that people do it during the middle of the day when it's hot, and that makes no sense. If you irrigate during the night where it's cold, it just makes more sense. Because people are silly. So yeah, that connector's up there, that makes sense. And then let's just group the extruder. And there we go. 1 extruder assembly. Yeah, there's a weird bit of lippage. But that just adds character. That just adds character. That's fine. So then we take this Move a copy over here with the rest of the pile. Get rid of this version because, yeah. And then let's align it. Align it with this up here in the middle-ish. I said in the middle-ish and on the face. And then we focus over there, make that not translucent. Bang. Done. All right. Actually, I do need it to be translucent so that we can actually see where it aligns. Where do you actually align? Do you align there? Yeah, it aligns there. So the bonus one we put up top fits. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 connectors. So yeah. Did you see the waterboard advert where they said they upgraded the infrastructure, which hasn't been done in 150 years? Then what have we been paying for? What's been paid for? When you said waterboard, I was thinking the torture. Yes, waterboarding torture has not been upgraded for 150 years. And there I get cancelled. Well, nice entertaining you folks. Yeah. I'm happy with that. That mostly lines up. Yeah, it looks daft, but oh well. So that's the extruder done. Are we calling that one done? Or are we going to have to come back to that one at a later date and revisit it? I feel like you're going to make me revisit this one and do it again properly. So are you going to forget Twitch again? Probably. We've been paying to put money in there. Oh, yeah, probably. Again, probably and probably. Dude, totally aside, in the new Spider-Man, he makes a, quote, advanced fabrication device. It's just a sewing machine with an upside-down ender, hot end, and fan. How? Okay, but just... That isn't too... I'm trying to... Okay. Okay. I'm trying to come up with a practical application for that. Like, what practicality exists for... Looks like a positron, Loki. Probably was a positron. What... So you're adding thread into a line of extruded filament at the same time. So let's just say he's adding thread into TPU. Oh, you're working on a video with the quote practical application. All right, then do I carry on or do you want me to stop? Because I'm trying to work it out. Other than sewing TPU to add a physical bond to the Josh tried the thread filament mess. Yeah, nah, you're far off base, lol. Hey, I'm on about adding a mechanical structure to add rigidity to the interface. Using the thread as an interfacing material to hold the print onto the fabric. It was just a prop in the movie, and I'm laughing. But and this is where Ace typed his answer. I want to do a Spider-Man. Then do a Spider-Man video. Do a Spider-Man video. Do it. I'm going to go back to Tinkercad. Boom. So if that's the extruder, and the rest of it just remains stock because screw it. Like, we can't add anything to the backside of the extruder because that's where the motor lives. Busy with my current video. Yeah. And what's your excuse? We can't add any PrusABlok connectors to the back where the motor goes. We can't add any PrusABlok connectors here because that's where the arm is. And we can't. There's no point adding any connectors here because, I mean, if we want to add things to the Z carriage, we've got the Z carriage block where we've got connector holes there. So we can add things in. So that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. So that brings us to the screen. Displaybox.stl. Let's download a display box. Download. Downloaded. And I'm going to do the same trick again. Right. Before I do, that's now in, and I guess it gets printed in this orientation. Drop it. X carriage is there, so we can move that into the prototypey area. Right, you move. You lot move. You move. Move. No. Nuh-uh. I said move. And you. Let's import the display. MIDI display box. 112 by 64 by 30. Oh, it's so close. Wait, hang on. Hang on. 112 by 60. So 64.61. 64 is a PrusABlok number. 80 is a PrusABlok number. 112 is a PrusABlok number. These dimensions are PrusABlok numbers. It's already there. Professor, it's already there. It's already got PrusABlok numbers on it. So how far off are we? Come on, display box. Holy smokes. It's like it was made for print. Yes. Where's the display box? So we're talking 64 wide, but that 64 is this, the ratchety thing, which I haven't got the ratchety thing. But the 112, that's fine. But again, This ratchety bit. I'm going to have to steal the ratchety thing, aren't I? See, that's why I made a nice standard size. And not 42 like the other organizer's system. Exactly. Right. Who's ready for some cheating? Are we going to cheat it again? I think we're going to cheat it again. It smells like burned wires. No, it just smells like warm. Right. Duplicate. No. Duplicate. And move you back into the pile. Grab you. 16, 48, and 32. Right. Not quite. 48 tall? 48 tall. Drop you there. Okay, so we need to be more than 16. Do we go for 24? So you know, the thing that we've discovered in this session, the whole, what is it, union group? No, intersection. Yeah, we just steal it. we just steal the geometry. So how far do we need to go? We need to go to 18. Okay, well, fine, let's go to 18. We can work with that. Actually, no, we don't need to. We don't, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. We don't need to, because it's the hex hole. It's the nut hole. It's fine. Thing we learned, Doug has a brain and can do math. Hey, it's Joe's system, it's fine. Okay. Something like that. So we steal it. We steal it. Intersection. Intersect. Boom. Right, we've got the intersection. Now we can duplicate it. Undo that one. Get rid of that. And then we need to do it again. But we need to do it the other way around. How do we do this? We need to do it the other way around. So we need to do a, what is it? We need to turn this into a hole and then put it in the middle. Stealing isn't bad. I say stealing isn't bad. Stealing's only bad when you don't have permission. And considering Prusa put this as open source, it's fine. I know this is apropos of nothing, but this is a shining. Apropos of nothing, but the shrink wrap modifier in Blender is the balls. I want to know how you would approach this, because I want to make the inverse of that geometry. And I'm trying to think how I can do it. Because 48, 48, and 16. I want the inverse of the geometry, but I don't want everything else that goes along with it. So, am I going to have to intersect again? Because, yeah, I don't want everything else. I just want... Whoop. I just want this cutout shape here. And I don't know how to get just that cutout shape. Because I need the knurling. Not the knurling. I need the ribs. And I need the ribs so that we've got something for it to bite into. So, how can I get just the ribs? I would extract Blender for you. Well, I could extract that in Blender for you pretty easy. Right, but how can I do that in Tinkercad? How can I extract that piece within Tinkercad? Because we know we can do an intersection now. Right? We know we can do an intersection. We know that we can make a cutout. Theoretically, you can put a block over and cover exactly and turn it into a hole and Boolean them together. Wouldn't that work? Yes, it would work, but then there was all the debris that was left behind. So I'm wondering if I do that group intersection now. No, I've still got the same geometry piece. I want the inverse of it. How can I do this? How can I do this? What's the exact size? 34.15. 34.15. And then it's, well, yeah, it's 16 because we know it's 16, and then it's 41.95 tall. So let's do 41.95. Okay. Let's do that, do that, do that. And then take the piece in the middle. Move it out of the way a second. Turn you into a hole. Take the piece and then group it. We've still got a lot of mess, but we can work on this now. Yeah. I just need to extract the juicy bit in the middle. I need to extract the juicy center. Let's go to flat view. And let's try something new, the scribble tool. You want to get rid of this and get rid of this. I realized that I could have just made 2 squares. And it would have been a lot quicker. But then I wouldn't get to make silly noises like nit, 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 nit. And then I think that. Okay. Done. Okay. 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 Right. Rotate. Nit, nit. Make it slightly wider. Yeah, I should have just done 2 boxes. Should have just done 2 boxes. Ooh. Ooh, really? Hold on a second. No, I didn't. Never mind. Sorry, the thought I had there was, hang on a second, did it just magically separate that for me? Wait a second. Oh, Doug, you silly weirdo. Right, you know what? Export this. Export it. Go into the slicer. Right? Let's... Oh, have I done it? Have I come up with a brilliant idea? Let's change the view so you can see the slicer. That's window number 4. Where is it? That one. That one. Transition. Right. No, Doug, you're not silly. This Doug is silly. Get ready. Cut. Cut position 0.1. Right? We want object A. We don't want object B. Perform cut. And then we split to objects. We move that piece out of the way. Get rid of it. And then export as STL. There we go. There we go. We extracted the geometry. We did it. We got the piece. Not cooking, just burning the meal. Thank you, Ace. Oh, wow. Wow. I could have done that in Blender, but good job. Hey, thank you, Joe. Oh. Why? Why? Why did it take going to the slicer to remove that piece, that little bit of adjoining, to then get that? Oh. Oh, wait, because I'm using Tinkercad for something that's not really designed what Tinkercad's for. Shut up. Shut up. I mean, it's fine. There we go. When it imports. Low key, not sure what just happened. You think I'm sure what just happened? I just pulled the key reference thing, the bit that Prusa uses for positioning the screen. To be fair, in Fusion 360, I think the right answer would have been to just remodel the whole thing. I mean, people probably would have just done that. But I don't... I mean, yeah, I feel like I've lost 3 layers of detail in doing this. But I don't know. I don't know how to make those bumps. To be fair, we don't have... There's nothing at the moment in Tinkercad, in PrusABlok, to get multiple adjustment points. Now, I could have tried to make a ratcheting system. I could have tried to do that. But then, you know, this piece of geometry works. We know it works. And if I'm keeping the aesthetic and functionality of the Prusa Mini, but in PrusABlok form, then going to keeping that original feel of the Prusa Mini display makes sense. The articulated spinning blocks kind of have that because it's print in place. It needs to have really big clearance so it doesn't work great. No, unfortunately, the default pivot block. Do I have a pivot? Do I have one to hand? No. Wait. I do. I have my sellotape dispenser. I like my sellotape dispenser. My sellotape dispenser is fun. I just haven't found a roll of sellotape yet. Other brands of tape are available. The default. There we go. If you're on about the pivot blocks, it wouldn't work because it just spins forever. And yeah, it's the tape that I've got doesn't fit. And then even if it did, it's too wide. It spins because it's supposed to be a pivot. And off the top of my head, there's a pivot block. There is a pivot block with ratchets inside to add friction, but the clearances make it ineffective. Which block's that block? And Herzl detected a disturbance in the force, so tuned in again, and they're a Trekkie, and that means something. I just resorted to exporting a piece out of Tinkercad into the slicer to chop 0.1 of a layer off, or 0.1 millimeter thickness off, to then bring it back into Tinkercad. Because screw me, that's why. Because I'm stealing geometry I'm stealing features from other pieces. So how big is this now? This is 28. Okay. So we can get a 32 by 32 by 16. 16, height 16, not 116, not 1016. We get a 16 by 32 by 32. Radius 1, steps 1. Turn that into a hole. And then I need a 6mm hexagon just to add a little touch more height. 6. And then focus in 1mm hole. Place you there. The non-smooth articulated block like 195 octo swivel or 193 swivel or 143 rotary swivel all have internal ratchets, are designed to make them rub against the walls. Do I have that block downloaded? I don't have, for some silly reason, the Ultimate Kickstarter bundle downloaded on this computer right now. Are you able to send me that so that we can have a look? Because if we can do it, why not? 29, 30 degrees, I think, is the rotation for a hexagon. Oh, it needs to be a little bit bigger. 6 point something. 7 will do. 7 will do. Doop, doop. And then go down. I don't think it'll be super effective otherwise, but check Discord. Thank you. We can have a look anyway. We'll bring it in, we'll take a look. Because if there is a PrusABlok piece, then hey, why not just use a PrusABlok piece? 159 octo swivel. Import. Okay. So there's bits that, okay, so they kind of add ratchetiness. Okay. Okay. I think I see what you're going for. So you can rotate that and then it just pops in. Very quote, kind of. Yes. Because you've still got to have the clearance for allowing it to rotate in the first place, it might not quite work. Okay. Okay. Hmm. And then it's how do I go from this to the screen and retain it? That's one that I want to come back to. Okay. Okay. Right. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got that 0.1 height back. Group it together. That should be 16. Kind of. 1. And now that's 15.9. 16. Group. Great. Group it. So then we take this, we get our connector holes from over here, yoink, rotate. Ooh, I'm accidentally moving over to not the testing area. Right, back we go. Back we go. And then we ungroup these, steal a star shape, so 2 and 2, the one in the middle, so that we've got the center hole, even though it's not going to be of any use. Group hole, align, middle, plonk, plonk, ungroup, delete, no, delete, 1, 2, 3, 4, hole, drop. Oh, look at that, spare connector, go away. You go in the middle, badoop, badoop, badoop. And then we group you together. And now we've got the ratchety thing for adding the screen. The stock screen. So we don't need to make a new screen at all. No, I'm not doing that. I want to remake the screen. Right. That's if even there is. That is if there is even enough detail left after the export, import, whatever shuffle that we've already done for this piece. But now we've got the ratchety mechanism. Oh wait, we need the face holes. Face holes. Doug, what are you talking about? Let's do it this way. Rotate. Rotate, duplicate, rotate. 90, duplicate, gives you the other one, duplicate gives you those ones. And now we can do this. Take one set, plonk it. Take another set, plonk it. Take the third set, plonk it. Take the fourth set, plonk that too. And then we take the two, take our alignment, center, middle, take the other two, and the piece, center, middle, middle, take the whole lot, turn it into a hole, take the piece in the middle again, turn it back into a solid. And then group. And there you go. Have we got any accidents in here? Nope, looks good to me. Nice, that's another piece that we can print. Shove you over there. Right. Back to the screen. What we need is a cutout. 112.86 by 64, but it doesn't really matter. We just take it, shove it in the middle. Make it bigger, but then we want it at the right height. So we need to get the right thickness, kind of. But at the same time, do we care? Not particularly. Let's see what happens if we do a intersection here. We want to intersect. That works. So let's add in one more piece to get, oops, to get the whole corner bit. Intersect. Nope, didn't work. Ungroup you all. Group you. And then we intersect. And in theory are left with the piece that we need. Yes. We've now got what I think is the inverse. I think. I'm probably wrong. Hold on, I didn't know you could do alignment like that. Aligned purely on one object. That's awesome. Yes. So how much of the PrusABlok printer is actually printed? Wires, hot end, bed, screen, anything else not printed? Sorry. 1 second. I need to cough. The PrusABlok Mini is, imagine you got your kit delivered, but there was no extrusion and no printed parts. You've got your rods, your motors, your wires. You've got everything you need except the frame. Or let's imagine that you've bought a second-hand Prusa Mini and the Z-axis extrusion was buckled or bent or something. That's how I'm envisioning this. You get, yeah, you words escape me. For some reason, you don't get extrusion in your kit and no printed parts. Maybe it's that, you know? Or you, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. There's a message there that's loading up. I was thinking more about the original PrusABlok printer, not the Prusa one. But yeah, basically the printed stuff is the frame. Yes. Yeah. So the Prusa, the Delta block, the Delta block, the frame, the electronics enclosure, the things that hold other pieces in place, they're all printed. So the Delta's got blocks that take the MGN 12 rails and bring that into alignment with the 16 by 16 grid that is PrusABlok. I'm thinking next step, how far can it be printed? You can print the bed. In fact, I printed a Prusa Mini bed. When I was working on the 180mm PrusABlok printer, the one that used the Prusa Mini bed for the Smurf auction, I might as well transition into my full face. When I made the charity build for Smurf 2026, I printed out a Prusa Mini bed to have as a reference. But there's nothing stopping you from using this. And sorry, this is the heated bed, the PCB heated bed. There's nothing stopping you from using this, getting some magnets, gluing it to the back, and then using the steel sheet on top. Like, there's absolutely nothing to stop you from doing that. So, you know, there you go. It's the heated bed element. You can totally use an unheated bed for PLA. It's fine. Just put some painter's tape on the top. But steel sheet still. Painter's tape. You know, print that out of PETG or pultruded PET. It's more heat resistant. Like the baby belt. The baby belt uses the cotton for the belt. You could print onto cotton with this, or again, painter's tape with this. You spoke after I typed, but great minds think alike. Yeah. Again, you don't need a heated bed. The Big Tree Tech cold plate cryo grip, whatever they call it. I don't know if they make one for the Prusa Mini yet, but they make one for the A1 Mini, and A1 Mini sheets fit onto Prusa Minis. So again, magnet, steel sheet. What I'm wondering if there is a way to make the printer fully self-replicable. Yes. Yes, there is. And PrusABlok printer allows to scale up rather than scale down. Yes. Because that's one of my biggest gripes about 3D printers. They get smaller. You could... Do I have them to hand? Or did I get rid of them? It's not going to turn up very well on camera. Oh, I don't have the whole piece. Or do I? No, I don't. I've got one in black. Ah. Oh, yeah, I do. Haha. Again, here's some trivia. You can print and drop carriages and rails. They are printable. It moves. Put some graphite powder on it. It's not the best, but again, right? When I did this 120mm bed PrusABlok printer, when I first contemplated moving from 3mm rods to rails, I printed out some rails. So I built it, and at the time it was still 28 BYJ motors rather than NEMA 11s. However, it did kind of move, you know? It did. I mean, this one's not, on that one's not so great, but again, get the right scaling. You can print rails. They're not great, but again, it proves a point. You can take a 3D printer all the way. I mean, it's been done. If you look on the RepRap wiki, you've got Snappy. In fact, Snappy RepRap. Let me bring it up. And then I can show you all. This one, transition. There you go. There's Snappy. Oh, wait. Of course. There's Snappy. You know? Snappy's great. Snappy is a fully 3D printer. Depending on the resistance, you might not need wires. Metal infused filaments. There are conductive filaments. They're not the best. Snappy V3 is actually working. Oh, Snappy V1 was working too. So, you can see a video of Snappy version 3 running here. Ah, go away, adverts. Ah, skip. Go away. So, Snappy's great. Genuinely, Snappy is great. And that uses, I don't know how to describe it, but you can see there the carriage assembly it uses printed screws for the Z, and it's a cupcake style kinematics. Is it using a belt? I assume it uses a belt, or is it rack and pinion on the gear? I don't know. But either way, I love it. I love Snappy. More theoretical, less actual. Sorry to derail the stream. No, it's fine. It's fine. This is what I like. Snappy, again, based on the name, you can extend. Which is what I like about the PrusABlok printers. You can extend them. You can extend them infinitely. And because you can extend it after the fact, you can print the smallest PrusABlok printer, print big parts to make a bigger PrusABlok printer, and then just upgrade what you've got, and you can upgrade in whichever direction. Like with this Prusa Mini, with the ends of these rod holders being open, we're able to take longer rods, and we can extend the y-axis if we wanted to. It's the thing I love about it, to be honest. It's great. It's ridiculous. It's fun. It's fun. It's why I like PrusABlok, because I'm able to take it and just keep going. You know, Joe released PrusABlok into the world and said have fun, and well, I think I've done that. Smurf 26 was about inviting others to have fun as well. That's why I did the stem pile. And that's why Smurf 27, I am now confirmed. I now have the ability to go to Smurf 27. I'm doing it again. I'm taking the stem pile back, hopefully with more blocks. You know, I took 15 kilos to 26. Can I take 20? Can I take a whole 30? I've already printed the table. Maybe I need to print another piece of the table and then have a bigger table to have more room for people to do things, you know? just good feelings about everything. It's great. 20. Come on, step up to 100. I do have an offer from a print farm to borrow their print farm. I don't know if I want to do it or not. I don't know if I want to go that far. Why not? Yeah? Why not go that far? Right. Where were we? Screen assembly. I realize that I don't actually need to do an intersection. The bit that I need to steal is... What I'm hearing is your chicken. I'm not a chicken. Not a chicken. Not entirely a chicken. I'm just mostly a chicken. Drop you there. And then let's... shuffle you over a bit. And intersection. Got it. There we go. That's the piece we need. Sorted. Oh wait, duplicate and ungroup. It's okay to be a chicken. Just be a good chicken. Okay, I'll be a good chicken. Cluck, cluck. Happy? Right, so we are talking 112. 112. It's a standard print block number. Rotate. And then we need to duplicate that a moment, and then we need to, not that way, that way, chop off this bit just to find out how big it is. Whole group. Do the dance, Doug. No. No, I don't know how to chicken dance. So how wide is it? 59. That's basically 64. Basically, that's 64. And then height. Duplicate. Place it. Align it. No. Align it. Okay, do the Dougie. I don't know how to Dougie. Nobody's ever taught me how to Dougie. Whole group. So now, duplicate. We can do this, floop, floop, and then intersection. Okay, so now we've got the exact right thing. How tall are we? We are 16.1. Do you know what? No, you're not. You're 16. You're 16 millimeters tall. Go away. Make a box that's bigger than the whole thing. Then we go to 0.1. We go down 0.1. Group it again. Now it's 16 mil tall. Duplicate. Once again. 16 mil tall. No, not there. Here. No. 16 mil tall. Turn you into a hole. 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 Then I think we can... I think this will give us what I was after the whole time. The inverse of the screen. Then, once again, 16. I think, I could be wrong, but at this point, we'll do the cutout once again. I've just remade the same thing. That's not what I wanted to do. What was I trying to do? I was trying to get the screw holes, wasn't I? The screw holes in the screen cutout. Why am I trying to do it this way? Oh, I know, because it's getting warm in here. Right. Electronics. Display. It's getting to be a balmy 26. No, Ace. Actually, you're wrong. 33. If we trust the temperature probe on the Construct 3DC1, the garage is currently 33 degrees. Both the hot end and the bed say it's 33. That's a Gerber. That's PCB. That's not what I'm after. LCD cable, LCD driver, no. LCD module. Module size, dot arrangement. No, that's not what I'm after. What am I trying to do? What am I trying to do? Come on, Doug. Come on, Doug. Figure it out, right? The thing you're trying to do right now is you want the screw holes. Okay? So if you want the screw holes, what do you need? You need to take this, you need to place it on top of where the screw holes are, and then you want to drop it down a little bit. At which point, you can group them together, and then you get the screw holes. You get the screw holes. You get the screw holes. In theory. In theory. Group it. That's still not the screw holes. Now we group it. Now we get screw holes. We get 2 screw holes. So we're in the right place. Kind of. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do we get them now? Yes. That's not what I'm trying to get. I want the inverse of those. Why can I not get... Because, Doug, you've got the pieces the wrong way around. You want a hole for the display and a solid for the thing that you want to be screw holes. So you need to get it the right way around. Solid hole. I think. Okay, got an idea. You make the table out of blocks. Yeah. Why not? You made a table out of blocks. Why not make the table and have the printers made into the table like an enclosure? You are 3 steps ahead. You're 3 steps ahead. Just 3, not too far. Not too bad. You're not too far ahead. Just 3. You need 2 more minis. I mean, I have 2 more minis. They are the print farm that did the majority, well, alongside the C1. They're the ones that did the pieces for the charity build. Have I got the screw posts now? No, I've got the inverse of the... Oh, what am I doing? Doug, tell me. Bro's building the PrusABlok castle. I don't need to build the PrusABlok castle. The PrusABlok castle already exists. That is called Printer Quest. That is the tabletop game version. That is a tabletop game made out of PrusABlok. There you go. Minis on one side, Delta in the middle, the other mini on the other end. Yeah? Right. Right. What am I doing wrong? I'm doing things wrong again, and I can't work out what I'm doing wrong because my brain is frazzled because it's warm. My brain's broken, folks, but that's fine. We're going to resort to going to the slicer again because it worked last time. It worked going to the slicer last time, so maybe this time I can make it make sense. PrusABlok a core one with index for next year. You want me to PrusABlok a core one index for Smurf 28? Feel free to tag Tommy Prusa and Anthony Prusa on social media and tell them what you want me to do. Because maybe, just maybe, they'll go for it. Just maybe they'll go for it. Split objects. What's going on? 29 steps ahead. Sure. Let's get off. Thank you. You go away. Right. Now I've got the thing I need for the screen. That took too long. That took too long. Far too long. Right. So we need to go one step higher. So 128. Import, choose a file. Documents. This one. Import. Now we've got a mold of the screen essentially. When it imports. When it imports, come on. It's not that big of an object. I say this, I don't actually know how big it is. It also helps if I transition back to Tinkercad. Yes, Tinkercad. there's the mold. Ta-da! Got something that now I can go 16, well, 15. And then rotate you. Do. That, and then turn you into the hole. G20, got to go, catch you later. Hey, well, Joe, again, thank you for your assistance with this one. It has been greatly appreciated. Thank you for stopping by and all that good stuff. Have fun. Let's actually make this one 16 tall. Screw it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then group. So now we have the cutouts that we need, in theory, for the screen. And then we can take this piece that we stole earlier, that we know is fine. We can plonk it in the right place, recess it a little bit so that it looks in keeping. This will merge eventually. 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 And when it does, so we went 128. 128 is how many blocks? I don't remember. But that's fine, because we can go like this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Align it. Duplicate. Get rid of the bottom 3 because they're not going to fit. And then we've got something that we know is base 64 wide. So we can take these 4, spin them, duplicate them again, take them to the top. And then in theory, we can take a second row, put them at the bottom on the face. So let's do this. Group you together, get off. Group you together. No, I didn't grab all 5. Grab all 5. Rotate. And my lights have turned off. Let's align you in the middle. Group. Align you in the middle. Align you both in the center and in the middle. And then the same for you up top. Align you in the center and the middle. Drop. 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 And then also, well, for some reason they still didn't group. Drop. Nope. Why aren't you dropping there? Oh, because you grouped there. Silly. Four, and that'll do for now. Right, so we take this batch. We turn it into a hole, make you solid, make you solid. I think we've worked out this trick by now. And then we can group the lot. So that should cut out this lot. This lot should also cut out. I've no idea if the screen... Yep, the reset button's should be fine. The screw hole should be fine, because we stole that. That's okay. The pivot thing looks a bit weird, but it'll do. So now it's just a case of put some printer blocks on the front. Printer block connector holes on the front. So in theory, if we align those to the edge, we go 1, 2, they should be, or is it 4? 3? They should be in line. Should be. I'm not entirely sure. What workaround have I got for this? That's a good question. Let's do it this way. Let's make a basic cube. We go 16 by 16 by 16. Well, no, not 16. 64. Because that's the size that we're dealing with right now. We align it all with this piece that we are working on. So we align them all in the middle. We then take these, we align center, which we've already done. We can shove that up there for the time being, but then we need to group them together and then drop them into the middle. At which point, ungroup, turn the 4 into a hole, drop it to the floor, which is where it is supposed to be, and then realize that, oh wait, you've just aligned it into the middle on that one. So you group it back together, drop it to the face that we're wanting to reference, ungroup, get rid of the piece that we added, and then we can also go as far as to probably see about getting another row. So let's try another row. Can we duplicate 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, bring that back? How does it look? No is the answer, because it's over the edge. But what about adding a 3? How's that? Strange, but fine. They might not be fully functional, but we'll see. No, they won't. They won't be functional at all. That's fine. Group those in there. Can we do the same on the base? Maybe. Maybe. Let's grab another set and do the same again. We need it 64 wide. We need it 16 deep. And 16 for good measure on the height, because I like to keep things how they're supposed to be. Drop, hole, group, align with the reference piece that we're using. Shove the reference piece in the sky. Group them together. Drop it to the face that we're wanting to reference. And then drop it back where we're also wanting to reference. Ungroup. How do those connectors look? They look fine. So we can keep those and merge them in. That is a screen assembly. It's a weird screen assembly, but it's a screen assembly nonetheless. So if we rotate, grab our alignment jig, I say alignment jig, our screen holder piece and our screen, we can bring them to the front of the Prusa Mini model, the PrusABlok model. So now we can rotate, and that could go here. And then our screen somehow joins it using the stock mounting piece. And there we go. PrusABlok. Ta-da! That's the screen. That's the screen on there. So Tuesday is the electronics enclosure. This is brilliant. Dude. 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 It's dark in here because the lights turned off. There you go. Lights. That looks like a Prusa Mini. Or a cantilever. But that's the PrusABlok. Come on. Come on. If you've been holding out for a reason, for a while, I mean, that's probably like-worthy, right? You know? That's great. That's actually great. I'm happy with that. I mean, yeah, we've still got to make the box that holds the main board and put a lid on it. But I mean, that's small potatoes at this point. We've done the tricky stuff. Yeah, you're right, Ace. This is relatively hype. This is relatively hype. Holy shindigs. This is good. Relatively. Shut up. Shut up. This is good. I don't care. I don't care. I'm happy with this. I'm actually happy with this. I'm happy with this. This is something. Like we've got our extruder. Weird piece. We've got our extruder, right? We've got our screen with the weirdness that is the screen adapter piece, whatever. Right? We've got it, right? The next bit is just the electronics enclosure. Like, that's it. No, I'm laughing at how modest that was. It's very high. Well, thank you. Thank you. So you know what? I think with how hot it is in here, that I would like to call it for tonight. It's been a quiet night, but hey, quiet nights happen. But we've had a very productive night because Herzl's not been distracting us constantly. So, you know, we can blame Herzl. This, like, legitimately, right? It would not be too far removed with the assembly that we've got here to go to the i3 style. It would not be too far to go i3 with this build, with a build like this, I should say. And then following on from that, to take the Prusa Mini core components to then go to a Core XY or a Cartesian HBot style. Like this is what I love about PrusABlok. Because we've now got these components that we've created here, and now we can go wherever we want to with it. Because we've got the frame, we've got the motion components now made, we've got the screen holder made. How many panels this is going to take to reinforce it, who knows? But we'll figure that out. And that is the joys of this, because that's the joys. That is what PrusABlok to me is about. Being able to take it, remix it, and make something new. It's ridiculous. It's great. It's me yawning far too much. But hey. If you've enjoyed this, feel free to give the video a like. If you've hated it, shout at me in the comments. If you have feedback as to where you think we should go next with this, again, leave a comment below, because outsourcing my brain to you is how things actually get made better. In the video description, There is a link to go visit 3D Jake if you wanted to go buy some parts or some filament. I do get some kickback from that. And if you want to go see what else I make, there's a subscribe button. You can hit that. Or you can go to the website and find a link to read stuff that I wrote, because I tried writing stuff. It didn't go very well. But what did go well was me saying thank you for watching. And I will see you. Oh, wait, I didn't actually say. I will see you Tuesday at 1 p.m. British Summertime, which is 2 p.m. Central European Standard Time, Central European Summertime, which is 8 a.m. on the US East Coast, or 6 a.m. in Texas, or if you're in the West Coast, good luck. Because it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, Rocky Mountain sort of time in Utah, mountain time. Yeah. I didn't actually make my face bigger for that outro. But what I did say was, cheerio. I didn't do the thing in the right time. Oh no. Buttons are getting mixed up. Bye. Oh, that outro. That was an outro. Oh, okay. Right. And now, because Kragod keeps reminding me, I need to end the stream. So where's the button to end the stream? We should just blame Kragod. It's Kragod's fault. Or Ace. We can blame Ace.